All right, Jesse and Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, we're going to talk about this Mike Perry brawl he got in at BKFC last night because he didn't get in a brawl with a nobody. You might think he got in a fight with a nobody, but it wasn't a nobody. It's a somebody. His name's Julian Lane. Now, does that name ring a bell? It might. To a lot of really hardcores, it might. I didn't even remember who that was, okay? I didn't even remember who that was. But when I tell you in a second, you are going to get a lot more interested in this story, and I'm going to give you the rest of it. Because Julian Lane is, wait for it, let me bang, bro. Let me bang, bro. Let me bang, bro. Not my best, but he's let me bang, bro. He is fucking let me bang, bro. Okay? So, one of the biggest legends in the history of the Ultimate Fighter, let me bang, bro. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys were like, man, you know that let me bang, bro guy? Like, I wonder what happened to him. Like, what's he doing now? You know, I haven't really been following his career. I wonder what he's doing now. And when I show you, I would imagine this is going to be unsurprising, right? Because looks like he changed his diet a little bit since the last time you saw him in the UFC. So we'll show you that. His diet, he's eating a lot more of a lot of things, I think. But also, he's brawling, dude. He's starting brawls with Mike Perry. I think he probably just talked his way into a fight with Mike Perry. Almost certainly. He's 175 pounds. So we'll go from there. I'll be very interested to see if Mike Perry looks like him when he actually fights at BKFC. I'm sure you know where I'm going with that. But let's go ahead and watch this incident, right? Let's see it unfold. Ready? Boom. Now, first of all, Mike Perry's stoned out of his mind right here. If you guys can't tell, I mean, listen, I'm speculating, but speculating with a trained eye for that kind of thing, that, you know, Mike Perry usually looks one way, and in this video, he looks stoned out of his mind. Like, look at how relaxed he is. He's like, I'm relaxed and uncomfortable at the same time. Look at me. I'm just hanging with Chris Lytle, thinking about how stoned I am, and boom, oh man, I'm hit with this what the fuck? And he's just like, I'm calm, never mind, I'm fighting. Like, I gotta fight, that's it. Get him! Get him! They turn the lights off instantly, dude. Now look at this. Now we get to see him rolling around backstage. Thank you to MMA Focus for this footage. And then check this out. So now there's another, you know, look at, so here's the actual fight. Big overhand right that missed. These guys both know how to lock each other up, almost like they're professional fighters. And by the way, Julian Lane, I don't want to bang, bro. I don't, dude. I don't. I just make fun of people on YouTube. That's what I do, you know? And so it just is what it is, dude. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of being entertained by violence. Okay, hold on. Now, let's get into the next phase of this video, which is, this is Julian Lane backstage after the fight. So let's get a load of what Julian Lane is up to, like, right now in 2021. Boom.
They putting us out the casino.
This is, dude, Mike, like, please give me this fight. Like, please give me this fight.
And he can't f***ing bang. He don't want to bang. They sending me home. They sending me home. Hey, can somebody tell them to let me bang, baby? Let's go. Let me bang, bro. Yo, fuck Mike Perry.
Let me bang, bro.
He's a hoe.
They won't let me bang. Okay, now check this out. Now, let's stop just for a second, right? So, what do we got here, right? We've got a battle of, look, okay? Mike Perry is awesome. I love Mike Perry. I did the video when Mike Perry didn't get the Jake Paul fight and like screamed into the camera. I'm a huge Mike Perry fan, okay? But I don't think anyone would accuse him of being like a brain surgeon, you know? Like Mike Perry's a good dude. I really believe he's got like a really good heart underneath. Maybe not a brain surgeon though. And so between that dude and Mike Perry, like, my dream would be to put those two guys in an escape room. Like, I would, like, instead of you guys fighting, right? Like, so before your guys' fight, you guys are gonna compete in an escape room, and they're by themselves, no fucking teammates, right? And you put them in the most basic escape room. Like, you guys know escape rooms? Like, you've ever done one? It's like a, you know, it's like a thing that you do, and you go in, and you have to like figure out clues, and you're like, oh, I figured out that this number means this, and I can unlock this box. It's literally like a bunch of riddles for you to get yourself out of the rooms. You get some clues, but you have teammates. Like, I would pay so much money to watch those two guys. Actually, never mind. They're on the same team. They're like those two on the same team. You're like, you guys want to fight? Dude, you guys can fight. But first, you have to bond and you have to escape the escape room. You get a $50,000 bonus if you guys success. As a matter of fact, you get a $50 million bonus if you guys successfully navigate this escape room. We're going to give you 3 days. Okay, usually it takes people like 2 hours. We're going to give you 3 fucking days, dude. And you guys collaborate together and you're going to get $50 million. That's the safest money you've ever had. There is no fucking way those guys are getting out of that escape room, minus breaking the rules and just kicking the doors in, which they would do, for sure. But man, that is going to be gold, dude. Now, let's move on to the next part. So, like I said, I think his diet has changed a little bit, like just a little bit. And I'll let you guys see if you agree. Ready? Let's watch this next part. Boom. Here he is. Yeah, MMA Uncensored. And, yeah. Dude, I feel like he would probably be fine with USADA. Like, most likely, if USADA tested him, he'd be fine. And so, look at this guy that he's fighting here. And he's about to fight him, too. Look, so this is what he does, dude. He wants a fight? Yep, he'll just headbutt him, dude. Get slapped. Like, this is how he hypes fights. And listen, let me tell you something. That's a good policy, dude. Like, that's a good policy. You're telling me if you watched that weigh-in, you weren't like, all right, I'll watch these two guys fight. He won that fight. Julian Lane did. He won that fight. And, you know, this is a tried and true method. If you think he's not fighting Mike Perry now? You think he's not? You think him and Mike Perry are not going to fight? Because they are. They are. And, I leaned towards this was not set up just because this guy does this all the time. And Mike Perry did look like legit mad and he looked stoned. And like, I really don't think that if Mike Perry knew he was going to do a huge public fake brawl, he's like, how can I prepare for such an event? He's all, I'm going to get blazed, son. I'm going to get super blazed. And then when it happens, it'll just come naturally. It did. Like he went from like the most docile version of Mike Perry to, you know, hooking and throwing overhand rights real quick. It's really impressive, actually. That dude, he threw a program in his face. You can't be doing that if you don't want to get down like a clown, Charlie Brown. So yeah, there's that. It's gold. It's gold. I talked about it on the live stream yesterday. Like, this is not rocket science. If you want to get the attention of the MMA community, what do? You create a violent scene. Create a violent scene that's not going to land you in jail. Gosh, what a crazy forward-thinking concept. It's almost like the same types of things go viral all the time. Oh, they got in a fight. Oh, a fight that was outside the cage. Oh, an altercation in the gym. Oh, he caught a fucking thief in his bathroom and he beat him and they got a video of them dragging the guy out afterward. Jeez, like, what's the common denominator of all these stories that go viral? I can't figure it out. What is it? Jeez. So, yeah, smart promotions either way. Now, let's talk about DC and Dominic Cruz, because I want to talk about this right now. And we're switching gears, because now I'm going to talk kind of serious, although, serious-ish. So yesterday I talked about this Dominic Cruz thing. So just in case anyone missed this, Dominic Cruz was in a press conference. He was asked something, and he was talking about DC's commentary, and he straight up said, he's like, I put on earphones when DC's commentating. He's like, he doesn't do any research. He doesn't listen. He does no research. He does not watch tape. He does a terrible job. And I completely bought it. Like, I fucking bought it, right? Like, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up, dude. That's really fucked up, just because of how much shit DC has been getting in the media. Now, when I say I bought it, I'm not saying that I don't buy it now necessarily, but it literally actually, because of Dominic Cruz's personality, and I think he absolutely is a dude that would just directly call DC out if he didn't like his commentating, and he's already like, oh, DC's gonna be commentating my fucking fight, and he's been holding that in a little bit. Like, Dominic Cruz is a dude that'll hold it in. I mean, this is just my read on him. I don't know him personally, but like, he's like a dude that'll hold it in a little bit, and then, but he's thinking about it all the time. Like, if you're not prepared and you're like on his team and you're like, and you're free balling it like DC, which I like, by the way. I like both. Like, I think you need to have both. You got to have the guy that you feel like you're hanging out with on the couch watching the fights, which is Joe Rogan and DC. You're the super educated friend about fights, which is kind of my role when I watch with my other friends. But then you got Dominic, who's like a brain surgeon. Like, he knows all the guys. He knows exactly what they're good at. He knows exactly what they're working for all the time. And like, it's everybody's good at their job as far as I'm concerned. But if you're Dominic Cruz and you're doing a ton of research before every single event, and you look and you're like, this guy's slacking. Like, he's the kind of guy that shit would eat him up. He's on the team, and on his team, he's like, this guy's slacking. He'd be the whole time thinking like, this guy's a slapdick. And then at a certain point when someone asked him about his commentary and he's got a microphone in front of him, he would just go, oh man, I just put earphones on. The guy does no preparation. He absolutely is a person that would do that, right? He is a person that would do that. And because of all the shit DC has been taking in the media about his commentary, which I think is totally unjustified for the record, although I don't necessarily, I'm not saying that what Dom's saying is not true. I just mean, I think he's an awesome commentator. So to me, I was like, there's no way they would create a work that's like adding on to pressure on DC and saying that he's bad at his job performance. Like I was like, there's no way that they would work that because DC's already kind of in the hot seat over that, right? And so then when they were, the first way I interpreted it is when they were doing that thing and they did the interview together, and Dominic's like, look, it's just tough love, man. Like this is accountability. It's done out of love. It's accountability. And DC's like, that's not out of love accountability. And Dominic Cruz is like, so when you tell your kids that they did something wrong, is that out of love? It's like, okay, so yeah, that's not the same thing, dude. That is not the same thing at all as saying it publicly into a microphone. Now we're just assuming that this is real. It's like, that's like attacking a dude's job. Like you're literally saying into a microphone, like this guy is not doing his job and maybe you should boot him, right? Like that's like going to your boss. You have someone on your team that like didn't deliver something on time or whatever. And like instead of going to him and being like, look, man, it's really important that you hit these deadlines. Like you can't just be bringing this in 2 days late and expect us to kind of scramble around you. Like it's really important. I know this is a bigger job for you than it is for us, like on this side of it, but you can't just miss deadlines as if it's normal, man. Like you can't do it. Like that's one thing, right? The other thing would be for you, they missed a deadline and you just go directly to your CEO or your VP and you were like, look, man, I can't work with this guy. He's blowing it, dude. He's blowing, or even better, you get up in front of like the entire company at like an all hands meeting and you're like, look, I just want everyone to know that working with Ethan is impossible, man. The guy never hits any fucking deadlines. He's an embarrassment. It's like, hey dude, hey Ethan, are you actually doing any prep? Like, do you even try to hit deadlines? Like, are you even trying? Very different than a one-on-one. So I disagree with Dominic's premise if he really was saying that like that's the same thing as like, like asking for accountability. But then people were like, it's a work because Dominic Cruz is fighting. And I thought about that and I was like, fuck, it totally could be a work. It really could. I mean, like literally anything that brings eyeballs in the direction of a person who's fighting on an upcoming card, absolutely you have to be like, it could be a work. Like very easily could be a work. The only thing, so it would be genius if it's a work. I don't like. I would be surprised if DC agreed to that kind of work. But really, what other kind of beef can you create between those two, right? In DC, if he's totally secure in his job, right? Like if he knows he's not going anywhere, like he's locked solid. There's not like this is just people bitching. Then yeah, do that. Like do that beef, and it's amazing. But he'd have to be like rock solid, like it's just a bunch of crybabies that are complaining and I don't really care, so I'll perpetuate it to help Dominic hype his fight. Totally possible. Also, if that's the case, Dominic Cruz is a fucking amazing actor, man. Like really, like absolutely pulled it off. I don't believe anyone. You guys know this, dude. I've told you guys, I've done multiple reality shows where I have faked a ton of shit, okay? I don't believe fucking anyone. And again, the only reason I'm even considering that this Dominic Cruz and DC thing would be a work is just because they created eyeballs at Dominic, and so 1 + 1 = 2 sometimes. But Dominic pulled it off so well that it's only because it's putting eyeballs on him that I'm considering that it's fake. He did so. If it is fake, very well done, and congratulations, Dominic Cruz and DC. You guys completely pulled it off. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. Let me bang, bruh. Let me bang, bruh. Let me bang, bruh. That's what I got. So subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.